Was just really proud of the adjustments that our team made from the game at Vanderbilt to the Oregon State game. We corrected a lot of our issues that we had. We showed some maturity. I thought our leaders did a great job preparing us for the game. It was really important. The keys to the game is just reviewing it. The 3 turnovers by our defense were huge. The defensive score was huge. We really played well in the kicking game, and that was a big part of the field position, especially in the second half. And then the defensive minus yardage plays was a real big factor in the game, the sacks and the pressure that we put on the quarterback. It was a very big step for our football team and our players to beat a Power 5 school. I mentioned it Saturday night. Friday night at our team meeting, I asked the kids to stand up, anybody who beat a Power 5 opponent, and nobody stood up. And so it was important for us to check that box off as a team and for our current players. It was really important accomplishment for them. We've accomplished our first goal. We put the season into 4 quarters, and so it's sectioned off in 3 game sections, and we played our first 3 games, our first quarter of the season, and our goal was to have a winning record, and our goal was to win all our home games. And so we've accomplished that so far. Very, very important for us. We did have some players of the game. Special teams was Quentin Conaway. His punting was excellent in the game and really helped us field position-wise. The defense really felt like they wanted to make the whole defense the player of the game. Just everybody played really hard. And then on offense, we gave it to Jake Nelson. Jake's really taken a lot of steps in being an excellent offensive lineman, and he made a lot of steps in this game. Looking forward to this week, we got a big challenge. Toledo's been one of the top teams in the MAC conference the last few years. Really well coached, really dynamic offensive team. They're balanced. They run and pass. Coach Crandall does a great job with them there. They've got a really talented group of receivers, and we're going to have to do a great job on managing them on defense. Their defense, they have 6 starters returning, very talented secondary. So their skill players on both sides of the ball are very talented, and they have a very explosive player in the kicking game that we have to do a good job of. But overall, we got to do a great job. We get to travel. We get to play a quality opponent. One great thing now for us the rest of the season is that we've played against all these opponents. We're familiar with them all, so that should help us in preparing. And now our challenge is to go beat a good football team on the road. So with that, any questions?
Any update on Brendan O'Leary-Orange?
Yeah, Brendan, by the time I got to the hospital Saturday night, Brendan was alert and sitting up, and his tests were all negative. They did a CT scan on him. They were all negative, and so he's returning, going through our protocol to return to play. And, we expect him to be back soon. He'll be questionable for this week, but hopefully by next week we'll have him available.
How about reps?
Yeah, Sean did a little bit today. He's on the practice field and just trying to manage through his issues. And so we're hopeful. There's a possibility he could do some things this week, and if he continues to progress, we'll certainly use him.
Coach, what's the message for today? Coming off just a really high feeling on Saturday night, and then having to get back to work. What's your experience? How do you get players getting back?
Monday is Tell the Truth Monday. So I show the team 4 clips on offense, 4 clips on defense, and 4 clips on special teams, and it's. Today, because we won, it was 2 good clips, 1 bad clip, and 1 ugly clip. So we try to show the good and the bad. We try to correct things that really need to be corrected. And, the bottom line is, we're averaging about 39 points offensively, and we're giving up about 31 points defensively. And we want to manage people better, get off the field more on defense, minimize the points that they score. And we feel like we've left a lot of offense on the field. We feel like we can score more and execute a lot better. We didn't execute very well in the second half. We missed some open receivers. We didn't make as many big plays in the run game in the second half. And we want to find that balance. You know, I was really proud of how we ran the ball in the first half. And we have to have that balance of run and pass to really be effective. And as you look ahead on our schedule, everybody can score. I mean, all the teams that we play can score, so we're going to have to be dynamic offensively, and we're going to have to just continue to improve defensively to get off the field. So I think the recipe for how we have to play was in play Saturday night. You know, we have to score points. We have to get takeaways on defense. We have to pressure the quarterback. And I really believe if we manage the run game, we got a great chance to win every week. And so we just have to continue that formula, play great on special teams, and continue to improve as a football team.
Coach, Toledo already had its bye. Is there any struggles or just anything trying to find information on a team that's only played 2 games so far?
No, they've played 2 games at home, and you know, they won fairly easily the first game, but then they had a tough game against a good Miami team. I think we have plenty to see on them. I kind of like the fact that we've had 3 games. I think we've kind of had an opportunity to work through some issues, and now we can take a much more knowledgeable team on the road to go play them. So, you know, they're the MAC champions. They're a team that's used to winning, very well coached team. Have as much respect for them as anybody that, you know, we played since I've been here. So it's a big challenge for us. So we have a really good feel for what they're going to do. We played them last year, and I think we understand their strengths and weaknesses fairly well. So it'll be a big challenge, but it's one we're looking forward to.
And with this new rule in terms of redshirting guys after the non-conference, is there anything you're looking for in particular from the freshmen in this last non-conference game?
No, we have quite a few freshmen that are really making a contribution. So there's a couple guys that we'll have to be smart with. But overall, we're going to continue to play and push the envelope with these guys. And if we need to continue to play them, we will. We certainly want to be smart with some of the guys that aren't playing as much. But this game, we'll have quite a few freshmen playing.
And Coach, following up on that, is Tawa a pleasant surprise to you? I mean, your rushing leader and a guy who also can give you a wildcat look now and then? There's
no question. You know, I told this story earlier. Before our team meetings, the kids put on their old highlights, and there was a highlight of Toa when he was like in junior high, middle school, and he was in the Wildcat. He was catching the ball, running all over the field, and I looked at that tape and I said, you know, we probably should put that in. But it's real natural for him. He did a great job in the first series with that. It's a good change-up for us offensively. And, you know, we're going to continue to find ways to use all of our playmakers. We have a lot of different kids that have a lot of different strengths, and Toa did a great job in that game. We're going to continue to use him. He's a natural running back, and he's great on the perimeter. He's great inside, and we're going to keep trying to use his skills. And, you know, this week will be another good week for that.
Where's the team's confidence level at right now after that big win going into this game, Coach?
I think it was an important game for us because you know, you have to have a certain mindset when you compete, and our kids made a decision that they were really going to play all out and physical for 4 quarters, and we did to a man. We had guys really playing hard, and they accepted the physical challenge of the game, and really came out and set the tone, and then played all the way to the very last snap. You know, there's a lot of different ways to win and lose games, and we certainly were fortunate to come out on top. But it was a great lesson for our guys on how hard you have to play to win, week in and week out. And I told them, you know, once you pour your heart and soul on the field for your teammates, you don't want to play any other way. It's the way you want to play, and it was a big step for our guys. You know, they needed this to prove that they could do it, and now we should have a lot more confidence moving forward.
How good did that Power 5 win feel?
Felt pretty good. It was the first time I've done it in my career. So it was a lot of fun. The intensity and the energy throughout Mackey was awesome to see. It's the best I've seen that atmosphere in my time here, and I just hope we can continue it.
How proud are you of how the defense played?
Very proud. I'm proud of all the guys, especially the young kids. They all didn't hesitate or were nervous. They just trusted their technique, trusted their coaches, would put them in the right positions, and they played really well.
You saw Toledo last year. What's different about this team this year?
They lost a really good quarterback in Logan Woodside, but the guy that's replaced him has done a phenomenal job so far in this season. They looked really good against Miami and beat a good D1 AA team in their first week. So they're a good team. Their offense hasn't fallen off. They have 3 probably NFL caliber receivers, so they're going to be a good challenge for us.
Is there any takeaways from the last game that you can implement in this game, maybe from a confidence standpoint?
Yeah, I just think we need to do a better job of playing all 4 quarters. I think sometimes we have a tendency to lay off the gas at times, and we just got to realize that every play matters. Any play can be the game-changing play. So just playing consistent throughout the entire game is definitely one takeaway that we can take away from the Oregon State game.
Is there anything that you've seen from Toledo offensively that might give you guys trouble, or anything that you guys can exploit defensively?
Yeah, their whole offense is just a high-power offense. They're super balanced. They're good up front. Like I said, they have really good receivers, a really good running back. So the whole game is going to be a challenge for us, but I think we're up to it. Sir.
How did it feel beating a Power 5 team?
Yeah, it was awesome. This is my last opportunity to be able to beat a Power 5 team, a Pac-12 school, so it was really fun for me in my senior year to go out with a win against a Power 5 team. It was awesome.
You saw Toledo last year. What's different about their defense that you're expecting?
I don't think there's a lot much difference. They got a lot of returners. I think their whole secondary is returning. I think the little bit of difference is they lost some guys up front on defense. So, we're expecting a lot of the same stuff, and they're going to challenge us with one-on-one situations. So, we got to come out there and execute and win.
Of course, last week's win gives you a ton of confidence moving forward, but you guys have struggled on the road. To win, on the road, what would that mean to you?
Yeah, I'm trying to emphasize a lot this week to the team that, if we want to be known as a good team, we got to be able to win on the road. So, it's huge for us this week to not be at home and get a win and bring it back to Mackey.
How confident is this group now?
Yeah, I'd say we're very confident. Coach Norvell said this morning, from here on out, we've played everybody on our schedule this year. So, we have a lot more experience going into these games coming up, and our confidence level is very high right now.
Have you seen Brendan since the injury?
Yeah, I have. He looks good. He's moving around. Looks pretty sharp. So hopefully we'll get him back, as soon as we can.
My coach said that he was questionable for this weekend's game. How is your passing attack different when he's in versus when he's out?
Yeah, OJ is a huge threat to defenses, and he's a big part of our offense. So it is a loss losing him, but that's the game of football. Is next guy up. Things happen, people get injured. So I'm confident in our outside guys to step up this week and have a big game.
Well, let's say that he is out this weekend. Do you expect anything different from maybe Elijah Cooks or someone who can slide in that role?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of weapons outside that. We got to have a good week of practice, and we both got to be sharp, both receivers and the quarterback. So, hoping to have a big week from those guys outside.
Putting up a handful of points offensively in the first 15, 20 minutes of this game. How can you guys keep that sustainable? Because there's kind of a drought there.
Yeah, that's what we're emphasizing right now is, playing all 4 quarters and executing all 4 quarters. Because, we're going to be in a lot of tight games against a lot of good teams this year. So it's going to take executing and doing well all 4 quarters of the game.
I heard you guys got Krebs back this morning. How nice is it to have him back on the Union?
Yeah, it's awesome. He's a huge part of our offensive line and our offense as a whole. He's had a lot of experience last year, so having him back as just a veteran guy back in the lineup, it's awesome.
Do you see anything from Toledo that could present some challenges for you defensively?
I just think they're a very physical team, very physical defense. That's really just going to challenge us. So I'd say the biggest thing for us is being physical and really taking it to them this week.